Arsenal, Gyökeres first goal. What did you make of it?
Yeah, he played really well. I was at the game. He actually missed a big chance before he scored his goal. Saka was, I think, our best player in the first half. There was a time when he got past the fullback, cut it back. Gyökeres scuffed it into the floor, went straight to the keeper. And in that moment, I was kind of thinking, this is almost like sink or swim right now. He's just missed a big chance. We know what social media is like these days. I could just imagine Twitter and all the timelines blowing up. Oh, he's a flop. He's missed, even though it's pre-season. I was thinking, mate, next chance you get, you have to bury it, because that's where I need to see a mentality from an elite striker of you miss a big chance, but it doesn't matter. You know, you put it out of your head. Next chance you get, you bury it. And we saw that. Zubamendi, the ball came out. Oh, it was after a corner. The ball came out. Zubamendi took it first time. And we'll talk about Zubamendi, by the way, because what a player and what a performance. I think he was our best player, but took it first time. Gyökeres, got across the man. Lovely glancing header. And yeah, it was just nice that, you know, nothing was made of that missed chance, and he didn't give people to make anything of that missed chance, because there would have been a blow up. And I think his game then lifted after that. Like, he was running in behind, he was holding the ball. He actually got a player booked in the first minute of the game. He held the ball up, defender, and then he spun off the defender. The guy got booked in the very first minute. So yeah, a lot more to talk about just other than the goal. But yeah, like I said, after the goal, his game completely lifted. He was running into the channels. He was holding it up. There was one time where he was kind of on the byline. He cut back and the defenders just slid, and then he's passed it to Calafiori, who got a shot off. He had another chance later in the game with a diving header that Unai Simon saved onto the post. So, do you know what I mean? Like, there was chances there. He looked dangerous. He's still not 100% fit, which is the mad thing about it. Like, he played, I think, 15 minutes against Spurs, 60 minutes against Villarreal, and now I think he played 75 minutes yesterday, and then Havertz came on for him. I'm not going to say missing piece of the puzzle, because I feel like there are still holes. Even just looking at our team, I'm more than happy with David Raya. Back four in terms of Timber right back, I think is up there, if not the best right back in the league now. I think last season he was amazing. I think he was my Arsenal player of the season. He's incredible. And going from Ben White to Timber, Ben White was great. Timber's better, which is mad.
Saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, he is, 100%. Saliba and Gabriel, we know what that is already. Left back, there's questions, because you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly who can start. You've got Calafiori, who actually started the game yesterday. I like both of them. I think Calafiori is probably they're both playing out of position, to be honest, because Calafiori is a left centre-back playing left-back who does a good job there. Miles Lewis-Skelly's a midfielder who's been converted to a left-back, and they both drift into midfield. They both have qualities. I think they're both good on the ball. They're both strong. Defensively, there's questions about them both at left-back. But Calafiori played well yesterday. In terms of the midfield that we saw yesterday as well, I think that is the midfield. That's the staple midfield we're going to see from Arsenal this season, which is... Interestingly, a lot of Arsenal fans were saying it's going to be Zubamendi in the 6, Rice in the 8, and Odegaard in the 10. It wasn't that at all.
Right, okay.
It was a double pivot of Zubamendi and Declan Rice.
Right.
There were so many times in that game yesterday where Zubamendi would get forward and Declan Rice was tucking between the centre-backs.
Interesting.
So I was thinking, all this talk about Declan Rice being the 8, up and down, getting into the box, arriving late. Zubamendi was more forward most of the game than Declan Rice was. Which I like, because
Look, West Ham.
Exactly, that's exactly what he did at West Ham. And for me, still, Rice's best position is 6. I know he had the end of last season, he had the Madrid games and whatever, but he is a destroyer. He is a guy that breaks up play, wins the ball back, progresses it forward. He can get forward, but I don't see him as that guy. I want more creative players than him going forward. If you said that Declan Rice is an 8, right? And you said, name the top 5 best 8s in the world, or top 10 best 8s. I'm not putting Declan Rice in that. If you said Declan Rice is a 6, name the top 10 best 6s in the world, top 5, Declan Rice is in that. He's in the top 3 for me in that position. So that's where I want to see him. And it's nice that Zubamendi can come in and do both roles.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that Arsenal have won the transfer window. Is that something you agree with?
I think they've really strengthened in key areas. I think there are still a few a few areas where I'm like, I'm not seeing it yet. Like for me, Madueke was just such a weird transfer. Like given that his best position is probably on the right and you've got Saka there. And if you're playing him as a left winger, I mean, is he much better than Martinelli? Like you rate Martinelli quite highly.
My patience is going a little bit with Martinelli.
I've been saying it.
I know, I've been saying it as well. A lot of people have been saying it. I think a lot of it is just hoping.
Yeah.
Like with all of our clubs have had these players where they've had sensational form. I think Diaz was that a little bit at Liverpool.
For sure.
Sensational form when he came in, then injuries and out of the team, and you don't quite see that same player, but you're just hoping because you've seen what they can do. I think you had it at Kudus at West Ham. Like his first season, he was incredible, and then it slowly declined a little bit. And it's the same with Martinelli. The same with Martin Odegaard a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Has he lost his hunger?
I don't think he's lost his hunger. I think he's just lost a yard of sharpness. Like Martinelli before, he would get the ball, you know what he's going to do. He's going to attack the fullback straight away. He's going to cut inside. He's going to pick up. Now it seems like he gets the ball, right, I'm going to try and progress the ball 10 yards, then I'm going to stop. And then is Saka there at the back? Oh no, Saka's not there. I'm going to pass it back.
Do you think that's potentially been coached out of him? Like, you know, Arteta, I wouldn't call him a defensive coach, but he has a defensive mind, I think. So do you think that maybe Arteta's stopped him taking those risks?
I do see what you mean, and potentially, but then Saka still takes those risks. So why, like Saka beats the fullback every single, we saw it yesterday against Bilbao. Every time he gets the ball, he takes the man on. Every single time. It's not, he rarely ever plays. There are times where he plays it safe and him and Odegaard obviously play off each other. But most of the time Saka gets it and he's in behind. He's looking for the cutback. He's looking for the shot. So I would like to not think so, but I also would understand that. I do think Arteta is a guy or a manager that prefers to play the percentages rather than play a player's freedom a lot of the time.
It's very Pep, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like, right, if the higher percentage play is for Martinelli to hold the ball up, cut it back and whip it in for a header, rather than try and beat the fullback and cut it across, then he's probably going to say to Martinelli, instead of beating the fullback every time, try and cut back and then we're going to have a left-footed cross to the back post. So potentially, but yeah, in terms of what you're saying about Madueke, he came on yesterday as well, looks good.
Yeah, he's not had a proper pre-season.
No, he hasn't.
He's only just come back from the Club World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. There's still left-wing problems. I think the holes in the team, Martin Odegaard needs to get back to his form that he's shown
Big
over
season
2-3 years ago. Massive season for him. Probably the biggest. He's our captain. He's the guy I want to see, you know, I want to see him be our best player. I want to see him conducting and controlling this team. So huge season for him. And the left side is still a problem. 100%. It definitely still is.
Is it all or nothing for Arteta this season?
Yeah, I think it is. 6 years without a trophy would be too much. I think
Second 3 years in a row.
I know, and it could be 4 years in a row. The way games are looking, how strong other teams are.
Do you rate a trophy that highly? That sort of finishing second every season just isn't good enough.
It doesn't mean anything. Essentially, it doesn't mean anything. Look, we've played some great football at times. There's been some great moments, individual games, performances, runs, finishing on 89 points, which I do think is an achievement in itself. It's 1 point less than the Invincibles, but we won absolutely nothing. So it doesn't mean anything. But in terms of Arteta, the reason I back him is because I've seen him get the team to a level that can perform consistently. And look, injuries obviously were a problem last season. I think, I just think if it doesn't work out this season, if we don't win silverware, he probably will have to go. But I think where this conversation is a little bit tricky is that someone saying, I believe in Arteta, but if he doesn't win anything, he has to go. A lot of fans online and rival fans are going to think, whoa, you turned on him, blah, blah. I'm not going to turn on him. I'll probably say respectfully, you probably have to go now because he haven't won anything. But it's not that I'm then saying you were shit for the whole time you're at Arsenal and you're not good enough now. I will still be thankful for what Arteta has done to Arsenal. I think he's taken us from depths of, being a proper banter club with players that I don't respect and recognise in the Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like players that I don't like. Whereas now I look around the entire squad, I don't think there's a player that I don't like and I don't want in this team. Maybe there's one or two, but the majority of this team I love and I see it I see there's just a lot of potential in this squad to do big things. And if he's the man that got us to the cusp of that, maybe that's the case. I hope he's the man to get us over the line.
I do really understand your thinking. I think the problem that a lot of fans are seeing is like he had a lot of progression very early on. So each season you could see, okay, we're better than last season now. So he finished 8th place in his first season, and then it was like Champions League, and then it was like challenging for the title, and then it was an even stronger challenge. Last year it almost felt like a bit of a backstep, despite the Champions League run. Fair play. I mean, PSG, you could argue you played the best team, lost to the best team in the semi-final. That's a good run.
No.
I think it's still, this season there needs to feel like some progression, and the only thing left to achieve is winning that title or a big trophy. I mean, is the Carabao Cup, you say about winning a trophy, is something like the Carabao Cup going to be enough to change the tide?
It depends. It depends on the outlook of the rest of it. If we get to a Champions League semi-final and lose against the best team in Europe again, and we take it right down to the final day of the Prem and lose out to Liverpool or City if they're in great form, or Chelsea or whoever, and we get a Carabao Cup and we get to the semi-final of the FA Cup, it's a whole different outlook. I think just having that piece of silverware, at least minimum, is important. But yeah, it's tough. I don't want to make excuses for last season, but you're saying there was a backstep. We finished second again. We did.
Yeah.
But you can't write off the injuries. We had 28 injuries across the season. Odegaard, our captain, one of our best players from the 2 seasons before, had the injury. Even when he came back, he wasn't the same player. Saka tore his hamstring. Gabriel Jesus ACL when he was just back to his best form. Gabriel, who was probably our player of the season until he then tore his hamstring. Kai Havertz was our only striker, tore his hamstring. Ben White, who was our consistent right back from the season before, I know Timber came in and did great. He was out with it. He had surgery. Tomiyasu was out for the whole season. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was problems. And I really don't think anyone in Arsenal's position would have still performed to the level that we did.
No.
I think to still finish second, which it sounds stupid because it sounds like I'm fighting and saying it obviously is not good enough. But there was circumstances to still get to the semi-final of the Champions League, the way we knocked out Real Madrid. And it's not even just the injuries. We had no help in January. Arteta was there in press conferences saying, we are short. We need help. We need more goals. We need, more threat and attack. They did nothing. I don't know if that was the owners. Obviously, we didn't have the new sporting director at the time because Edu had just gone. I don't know who that was on, but leaving us that short in January was criminal. And we were short already from the summer before. No sensible Arsenal fan looked at that transfer window where we just brought in Calafiori, Mikel Merino, Raheem Sterling, and Neto in goal, and went, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah. We're good enough. Like, that's enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to do that in summer, then do that in January, and all the injuries, it was set up for us to have the season that we had. Yeah. It was set up for us to have a worse season. To still get to a Carabao semi-final, although we got embarrassed by Newcastle, a Champions League semi-final, finished second in the league. FA Cup was poor against United, but I genuinely think without injuries, with a better summer and a better January, it could have been a special season.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is could-have-beens. This is what I'm saying about Arteta. There's no more space for could-have-beens now, right? You've had a big transfer window. You've got your striker over the line. There, Martin Zubimendi is in. Those are 2 players that are going to probably start and should make a big difference. If we then get in Eze or someone on the left to help out, there's no excuses.
Yeah.
Right? This team needs to stay injury-free. You've now built a squad that look like they can stay injury-free because, I don't know, I just feel like there's more depth now to rotate, whereas Saka's not going to be running to the ground. Yeah. Gabriel doesn't need to be running the ground. You've got Mosquera there, Calafiori can play there. Ben White and Timber, if they're both fit, they can rotate. There's no excuses for Arsenal this season, man.